الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We have mentioned last Friday about the sacredity of the bloodshed and the importance of the human soul, that how Islam came to protect that. And we have mentioned that for every person who might seek forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jal, he might get forgiven unless he kills another believer intentionally. Allah said, whomever does that intentionally, Allah Azza wa Jal will give him severe punishment, plus he will be eternally in the hellfire. We have discussed this, but there's a lot of questions still need to be honored about that day. So everybody who mentioned the word of Tawheed and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with this. So whomever had testified Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam of the prophethood and with Allah to the oneness, they are Muslims. But there's also those that you have treaties between the countries. So we live in a peaceful, universal peace, and this does not mean that there is no divisions and like to have two camps of Muslims and non-Muslims. And of course you have two camps, Muslims and non-Muslims. But we live in a time where we have peace, a global peace. And even you have Muslims who are peaceful with their Muslim, or people that you have treaties with, civilians. But when there is a declaration of war between countries, this is a different issues that have its own situation. But now we live in a global peace. This is the fatwa that I mentioned to you last week when the conference in Turkey, in Mardin, and this is about the explanation. In that province, there is a city, Haran, where Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah was born. So we'll go with that fatwa from every place to every place. It is the message of peace. When he was asked about the city, the province of Mardin, the rulers are not Muslims, but people are Muslims, but they live in peace. Everything is preserved. They have security. Do they have to migrate from that place? And whomever cussed them for not leaving and accuse them of being hypocrites, can they be cussed or accused like this? I've mentioned to you before all of this, and I told you the fatwa of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. And this to see the genius of Ibn Taymiyyah when he decided on a very important issues that work on that situation and others similar to it. He said, Alhamdulillah, the bloodshed of the blood of Muslims is very sacred, wherever they are, in Mardin or anywhere else. And he said to help the one who are out of Islam, it is wrong, whether they are in Mardin or different. Meaning to help others to do evil, This is haram. And those who are sin and he cannot preserve or cannot practice his religion, then he needs to migrate it. If not, it is recommended, but it's not obligatory. So if a person can practice his religion and he can practice his religion freely or securely, then he don't have to leave. He can have permission to live and do whatever he wants. But to help the enemies of Muslims, to kill the Muslims, it is forbidden. And they have to stop from doing that in any way or possible. He said from leaving, or you cannot help a non-Muslim against a Muslim, no matter what. If you're in a position where you cannot help an oppressor non-Muslim against a Muslim, this cannot happen in any form, matter, or fashion. And it's not, you cannot accuse those who live in that area and call them a hypocrite. You cannot call the whole population of people that they are hypocrites, because you have to distinguish. To accuse people of nifaq, of hypocrisy, like you have to have characters, like the Prophet ﷺ told us, like if they are trusted, they betray, if they talk, they lie, and so on and so forth. But you cannot say this country is hypocrite, the people from that area is hypocrites. This is haram. This I cannot do. But whether it is a place of peace or war, well, he said it has both. It is not a place of Muslim because the rulers are not Muslims, and it's not a place of disbelief because the majority of people are Muslims. He said this is a place where you have both. You deal with the Muslims what they deserve, and the non-Muslims of whatever they deserve. Then people change the wording of Ibn Taymiyyah, where people said you fight the non-Muslims. This is wrong. It is you deal with them with what they deserve. And people say, oh, what he said it is to kill them. No, it's not. Meaning you deal with them with the treaties and the duties and the laws that is due to them. And nowadays, globally, there is a peace. Some people disagree with that, but this is a true fact, because either people are Muslims or not, or peaceful, innocent civilians. So the innocent civilians, they are innocent. You cannot, unless they declare war, but this is a different subject, and you don't see it anywhere. So if we are in this, where people are all protected in their wealth, their blood, their souls, whether they're Muslims or non-Muslims, they are. I want to stress on this, because you have to understand that all human lives, Muslims and non-Muslims, they are all sacred. They are not only their soul, their wealth, their honor. A Muslim, he is protected by his Islam, and the other one by their treaties, by being innocent. Now, are there exceptions? Of course. Like what we call Shabbiha. These are the killers, the gangs who kill, the mafia, the people who commit adultery. We have exceptions. We will talk about each one, but we start with the hadith of Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him. When the Prophet ﷺ died, and a lot of Arabs disbelieved, and Abu Bakr, he went to fight the don't play zakah. And Umar said to him, how can you fight them when you heard the Prophet ﷺ said, I was ordered to fight people until they say La ilaha illallah. If they are said, they are protected their souls and their wealth from me, except what is right, and their accountability on Allah. Where did Umar fall? That these people claim that they are La ilaha, they say La ilaha illallah. Some people said they are reverted. No, they are different classes. The first group reverted completely from religion and they worship the idols that they had before Islam. And this is obvious. But second type, they reverted. They went with another people. They followed Sajah or Musaylima. And they left the Prophet of Muhammad ﷺ, and they went to Musaylima al-Kadhab or Musayyah. And this is very obvious, they are reverted. But what are the problem? The problem is with the third one, who refused to pay the zakah. They said this is like the jizya, the tax. We used to pay it for the Prophet ﷺ. Why? Because Allah said, take a charity to purify them and make your prayers on them, it is comfort for them. So they used to pay the zakah where his prayers are comfort for us. So what shall we pay it for someone else? This is just like adding taxes to us. So they refused to pay the zakah. Some denied that zakah is even obligatory. But some who said no, it is obligatory, but you don't give it to the ruler, you take it between their camp or their village or their tribe. And this is a tribe, they wanted to do this, but Malik ibn Nuwayra, he refused, and he said they distribute it between them. These people still say La ilaha illallah. They still believe that Muhammad ﷺ is his prophet. They did not worship someone else beside Allah. They did not follow another prophet. They're still on the principle of religion. So if they are like this, why would you fight them, Abu Bakr? This is what Umar is. When he told him, I heard Rasulullah, I was ordered to fight people till they say La ilaha illallah. If they have said, they are protected their blood, their soul from me. So Abu Bakr replied by saying that zakah is the right of Allah, because he ﷺ continually said that they protected themselves unless with its right. What is the right of La ilaha illallah? The right of Allah is part of it is the zakah. So the first one starts with La ilaha illallah, but it continues with fulfilling its obligations. So he said, "Oh Allah, I will fight them. Whomever distinguish between Salah and Zakah, if they stop me from the rope that you tie a camel with." Another, he said, if they refuse to pay me the small goat that they used to pay the Prophet ﷺ, I will fight for them. Someone was asking, can you take a small goat? Can you take it in the zakah? No. But if all the principle is like this, yes. But when they reach the age, yes, of course you take the 6 months and the 1 year. But he said, if Allah Messenger said that there is a duty or the principles or rights for La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and zakah is part of it, part of the right of Allah Azza wa Jal. And Umar said, by Allah, I saw that Allah Azza wa Jal has made it clear for Abu Bakr, so he knew that Abu Bakr was right, so he followed him. He was not trying to copy Abu Bakr. He knew that Abu Bakr was on the right path. That's why he followed him. That's why he supported him. But going back to the third type of hypocrites, or those who reverted from Islam, the scholar did not call them reverters, they were bugha, meaning they were extremists. Those who disbelieved in Allah or disbelieved in the prophecy of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, these both types are disbelievers. But the third type, they denied the part of zakah, and they claimed that the Prophet ﷺ died, so it was only due to the Prophet ﷺ. And maybe they were new to Islam, they don't understand Islam completely, so they are extremists. That's why Abu Bakr wanted to find them to make sure that the principles of Islam are well set, well understood, well established. So there is a third type. Even though Muslims, you call them because these are the extremists. So the extremists are the ones who go against the ruler, claiming they are unjust. But if someone stopped the zakah, we'll take it from him forcefully. I mean, we're talking about the Islamic rulers. The Prophet ﷺ said that we will take it from those who deny the zakah and take half of his money for those who prevent paying the zakah. And what happened at the time of Abu Bakr, there was a rebellion against Abu Bakr or against Islam. It was an armed rebellion, so that's why they were fought until they came back to the truth. Allah said in the Quran, if there are two camps of Muslims or believers fight, then try to put peace between them. But if one of them exceeded the limit and went and aggressive against the other one, then you fight the one who was aggressive, and until they stop their aggression. Now remember that believers are brothers. But there is another type, but we say the Baltajiyah, those who fight Allah and His Messenger, and they go with corruption on the earth, that they will be killed or to be crucified, or their limbs will be cut, or they will be thrown away from or kicked out of the country. So those who rebel against the Muslims and started corruption and they wanted to take the money forcefully. This is the major theft. And this killing of innocent people, or to terrify them, to like the mafia and the gangs do in certain societies. And the ayah came in with this punishment, that's severe, to prevent people from doing so, that they will be fought or killed, or they will be crucified, or their lips will be cut from to its limit, and they have humility in their life, and they have severe punishment at the Day of Judgment. 8 people came to the Prophet ﷺ, and they gave him bay'ah on Islam. They don't like the climate of Medina, so they get sick. So the Prophet ﷺ, out of feeling bad for them, he said, once you go with our shepherd outside Al-Medina, you eat from the meat of our camels and you drink from its milk, so until you feel better. So they did, and then they will get healthy, so they killed the shepherd and they took all the livestock. And the shepherd, they did not just kill him, no, they killed him badly. And so the Prophet ﷺ he learned about this, so he sent after them, and they were caught. So he brought them. He did the had of Hiraba, and it was a just punishment, just like they did to the shepherd. And some people think that this is a severe punishment, but remember, we don't look at one part and forget the other. Look at the victims here and the society and how the peace is gone from it. Don't look at the person who is going to be killed or being crucified because of a crime he has committed, but look at the crime that he has committed and the severity of it and the effect that it has on society, and how much corruption is started in that society by one action. So I hope before we talk about having mercy on the criminals, let's talk about the rights of the victims who did not do anything, and don't concentrate only on the criminal. Look at the rights of the victim. This reminds us of something happened in Egypt about 1906. It's called the Incident of Din Chwai. And the story goes, some British soldiers, they went to for hunting. So they went to a place that's famous with the pigeons, and they had a shot at the bird, but they missed. They caused a fire, and the wife of the police chief died in that small town. So a big problem happened between the village people and the English soldiers. And one of the British people, he gets sick, but the British ruler at that time and he hung 4 men from that village, and he convicted 92 to life imprisonment with hard work, where they were whipped, where the skin was taken out of the flesh of the Egyptian people. Some people got mad and the poets talked, but the amazing part that the judges who ruled, these are Egyptian judges, not English. One of the people there was the brother of Saad Zaghlul. And he was accused of sympathizing with the victim. And people used to have bad feelings for the bad judges. So one of the judges was killed. And one of the lawyers who was against the Egyptians, he came to protect the village people, and he fought for them in court because he wanted Allah to forgive him, and he wanted the Egyptian people to forgive him, and he asked forgiveness from Allah and from his people. And he thought this is the best thing, that he will stand to protect the man who killed the judge who made those unjust rules against the villagers. But the sacrifice of the blood is good with Islam, as long as the person with Islam, or the treaty that people had. But when someone comes in as an innocent civilian and he tries to rebel against the same country that hosts him, he should be he will be taken to court, and he will be treated or punished accordingly. And the same thing with those who try to spy for other governments. Also, they will be treated accordingly. Let's just try to make a point that you don't kill randomly, but there is exceptions for the traitors, the people who commit crimes and corruption in earth. And he's saying that a long time ago, the professional thief, he brings the gold coins, but the golden dinar, the currency, he used to take all the gold, that small skin of gold out of it. It's still a dinar, the same. It is one form of fraud. And also for the drug traffickers, especially when they are armed, the punishment could reach all the way to death penalty. And all these that we're talking about, does not happen between individuals. People don't have the right to force the law. No, it should be a judge, it should be a government, it should be an authority that verify the crimes and catch the criminal, and they are the one who allow the defense to come to talk about the accused, and the person always innocent until he is proven guilty in court. And there should be a difference between revenge and punishment, the proper punishment. Allah said, you don't do revenge, but Allah Azza wa Jal allowed the family of the victim, and Allah gave him a lot of power, meaning whenever the authority catches the criminal, they have the power to implement the death of that criminal or to forgive. And when there's a crime in the old time, if somebody committed a crime, you go and kill somebody from his household. No, you don't do that. And also those that we hear in some countries where people kill for the honor, meaning if somebody committed adultery or has sex, they will kill them. And the Sharia the law of Allah did not come to order individuals to implement a law like this. And the punishment for anyone who has sexual intercourse is not by killing him, like some people think. No, it is only for people who are married, and then you have to prove that crime, and it's not something that you accuse someone just like that. But the souls of the people are protected, whether Muslims or non-Muslims, and the thing that prevent or raise that protection, someone who killed a soul with no unjustly, or someone who caused corruption or declared war on Muslims, or criminals who kill unjustly. All of this allow the killing of those who commit those crimes. The only three types of people that Allah's Messenger explained to us: someone killed by the people who kill unjustly, kill like criminals, or the thayyib, meaning the one who commit adultery when they're married, or the criminals that cause a major crime. But if you try to make peace between people and the other one is still on their extreme, then Allah explained to us to fight the one who went to the extreme, the one who became extremist, and also the person who extreme. We don't kill him out of because he's a believer. No, even after you kill him, you wash him and you bury him. But the fighting, it is worse than the takfir, calling people that disbelievers. There's rules. They should not go to the extreme of it, nor to make mistake to call a Muslim as a reverter. It is better to say a mistake, to make a mistake in the forgiveness than to make in the punishment. So I always try to find a way out. So if a ruler made a mistake as forgiveness, it's better than to make the punishment of death unjustly. But all these rules, it has to be with the government, not in the hands of regular people. Otherwise, it will be a chaos. May Allah protect us, inshallah.
أسأل الله جل وعلا أن يأخذ بنواصينا لما يحب ويرضى، وأن يحمينا وإياكم في أحمد الأمور عنده وأجملها عاقبة، إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح